Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to do another spread in this absolutely gorgeous book, Madame Butterfly. And I just wanted to show you this spread over here. So I did this a few days ago, but it's not completely dry. So these are oil sticks and I want it to be like 100% dry. Now, it seems like it's mostly dry, but just to be certain, I'm not going to work on it until I give it another day or so. So I'm going to be working on this spread over here. And I just put a pin over here just to give it a little bit of space between this page and this page so that if it's not completely dry, it's not going to get any of the oil sticks on this page. And this is how I normally work. Like I can go from page to page and I'll let things dry, or I'll need some perspective. So even if this wasn't oil sticks, I might be like, oh, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. So I might leave it for a minute. So this is how I usually work. I just go from page to page or journal to journal. Now let's get to this. Look at this gorgeousness. My only problem I'm gonna have with this is I'm not gonna want to be able to cover some of the stuff up, because honestly, I love red and I love these flowers. I love this bird. I'm loving everything, but of course we can't keep everything. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to just try to kind of figure out my figure and my composition. So I want to keep this I want to keep this part and this part. I'm going to cover up the bird, I think, because the bird is kind of in a kind of a strange angle. I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep, I don't know yet. So I'm just going to leave that. Like I'm going to leave the bird part right now, but I know I want to keep like this part. Like I just love this. And I also want to keep a lot of the red because I love red. And I'm just trying to see how I can do that. Now, I did do this spread over here, and this is red, and it's, there are flowers here, and I did keep those flowers. So let me see how I can kind of configure this. So I'm thinking that this is going to be like her dress part, and this is just going to be, I don't know if I'm gonna make it like part of her hair or just like framing her face. I don't know yet, but I know that I want this to be the dress part. So I'm just gonna kind of go like this, and I'm just gonna kind of sketch in a face. And I'm kind of like worried about covering up too much, because once I cover something up, I cannot get it back. I don't know if I did this correctly. Maybe I want to go a little bit more like so. And I'm wondering if I should have placed the face like more closer to the flowers. Let's see here. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it like that for now. And And she's like really bold. Like I feel it, like with the red and with just one figure just taking up the space of both pages and the flowers. Like she is just like, she's just a bold, sassy lady. That's what I'm feeling. So let me see here. I think I'm gonna kind of go like this. And I think I'm gonna place a sun over there. And honestly, you guys, I could just leave it like this and I would be completely happy with it. Like, I'm just so loving the whole vibe of this page. And that's why it's so fun to work like this, you know? It's just like, it's so interesting to come up with different ways of using what's on the page. So let me see here. Do I want to put some collage on her face and like build up her face? Or, you know what I think I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna add like a tea bag, because it's gonna give it like a skin color, but it's also gonna be transparent. Let me see here. You guys, these tea bags are gold. Like in your art, I just love them. I mean, there's so many uses for them, and they just add so much interest to the page and beauty and depth, and I could go on and on and on. So red is my color, so I don't want to cover anything up. It's so bad. I want to like keep all of the red, and I can't do that. So this is the part where like when I get comments that say, oh, I got so sad that you covered up the background, and I totally understand because I get sad too, but this is a part right now where I don't want to cover up this background. It's honestly just breaking my heart, but I can't keep everything. And there we go. Now, my main problem is going to be, I can tell you right now, is I'm not going to want to cover up the background. I'm really going to want to keep all of the red, and I can't do that. And so I'm going to have a problem with, you know, like how do I cover up the background? And so when I say I can't cover it up, let me explain that. So I could leave everything like this, but you know, I've said this many times, when everything is the star, then nothing is the star. And so I want to use the red to its best advantage. And that means that I have to cover up some of the stuff, because if everything is red, then it's going to lose its magic and its power and strength. But it is difficult covering stuff up. Okay, so I've put the tea bags on here now, and I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to make this, I think I'm gonna put white and yellow, because if I keep that red, well, I don't know. It depends on what I'm gonna do with the background. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep the background red, which I don't think I'm gonna do. I might be able to keep the sun red. Okay, so let me not do that then. Let me figure out what I'm going to do with the background. So I'm going to ask myself, what should I do with the background? What color should I make the background? And I think I'm just going to work on the hair a little bit here. And I'm going to go for a bold color, although I might add some blue just for interest and just because I don't want it to be like really flat. Because this ink color, any kind of Payne's gray or black or, you know, any dark color like this is going to be very overpowering. So I want to put some blues there. And I want to keep some of the writing if I can. And I have to be super careful over here because I don't want to cover up these flowers. So I'm going to have to get a smaller brush at some point. So you guys, I don't know if I should go with making the background blue because I'm just seeing how beautiful that blue is against this red. And even if I cover this blue up with the bird, if I cover all of that up, I'm gonna try a blue. Just see. And maybe I won't cover it all up, but so you guys, when I work in a book like this, I am simply doing it to learn. And I mentioned this many times, especially with Connie's book, but it's any kind of book like where I'm incorporating the images that are on the page. I am pushing myself and I am, you know, I'm trying to step outside of my box and incorporate a visual language that is definitely not my own. And it's fun, and that when you're in a state of fun, that is like a surefire way where you can push beyond your limits and you know, just be creative, because fun is conducive to creativity. Because now I'm not in a state of fear, like, oh my god, like what if this doesn't, and blah blah blah, and all that like critical negative self-talk. It really goes out the window when you're in a state of fun, because you can't be afraid and have fun at the same time. Like those two things, like well, at least not with art. You know, those two things are just not, they don't go together. And so when I'm having fun, I'm in a state of curiosity and experimenting, and oh, let me see if I do this, what's gonna happen. And I'm not so invested in the piece because, you know, I'm working over top of another image. And I'm learning a lot. So I don't know if I like the blue, honestly. I mean, I like that blue, but this blue is it's much more muted, and this is more of an electric blue. But we're just gonna kind of go along for the ride and see what happens. And I'm just gonna kind of go like that. Now I do have to get a smaller brush because I'm gonna have to go into, excuse me, into all these little like flower parts and, you know, not cover up the flower. So that's another reason I don't know if I want to put the blue. I don't know. I don't know, but that's okay. So I'm gonna bring some of the blue into the hair. So because there's so much red on the page, I think for the cheeks, I'm gonna try and bring in some orange. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm just gonna go with orange for right now and just kind of see what happens. I'm really conflicted about the background though. I do like the blue, but it's not reading the way it should be, like, and I don't know what to do with the bird here, and I'm not sure what I should do with the rest of the dress. So we're just gonna kind of try some different things out. So this is my own collage, and I don't know if it might be too much if I add my own collage onto this piece, because I mean there's so much going on here, and this might just kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna keep the option open, but I'll keep the option open, but I don't think that's gonna work. Well, let me see this little piece here. Maybe on the neck over there. Well, I'm gonna keep it open. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some burnt sienna to the base. And I am going to just build up the face a little bit. You guys, I really love these tea bags. They are just, I'm obsessed with them actually. Now I find myself drinking like an extra cup of tea just so I get the tea bags. And I'm really loving this blue on the face here. It's just adding so much. And I'm wondering if I should add tea bags to other parts of the spread, and that way I'm building up my page, but I'm also like moving the eye around. So I'm gonna try that out actually. I think I'm gonna just put some tea bags. Like I'm gonna put a piece over here. And I'm just gonna build my page up a little bit, you know? I'm not gonna like be so stuck on the background and what color I should make it and what am I gonna do with this bird and butterfly, etc. I'm just gonna kind of just build up my page a little bit and try to approach it more loosely. And I think I'm gonna put a piece on the hair, and that's really gonna bring some depth and dimension and texture to the hair. So you guys, I know this looks like a big mess, and that's totally fine. Excuse me. It's okay when things look like a big mess. I have to keep on like telling myself that. It's totally fine when things get messy because it means that, you know, there's life and energy in the piece rather than it being really static and stiff and, you know, everything kind of like planned out. So it's okay that it's messy. We're just gonna go with the vibe and just see where this goes. So you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. There's definitely going to be a part 2 and quite possibly a part 3 to this. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.